over there. It's a brand new week and we are surely delighted to be with you once again here to the very best of African breakfast right here on Breakfast Central. My name is Olisa Chukuma. Good morning to you, Africa.
Yes, indeed. We are News Central TV and we're all about telling you the true African story. I am Oluchi Nobong and we'll begin the show today with the headlines.
Well, Nigerians react to the Twitter ban from its federal government. And we'll have more on that on the program.
And on Breakfast Central, more than 130 people killed in Burkina Faso attack. More to come.
There is still a state of insecurity in Oyo State, the latest in Igagan.
And we'll be giving you a lot in the world of entertainment. Tanzanians versus Diamond Platinums.
Also, more updates when it comes to COVID-19 around Africa.
Right here on Breakfast Central.
Unatazama runinga ya News Central.
Right, you're still watching Breakfast Central. It's the Monday, 7th day of June 2021. Let's start now with a look at our top stories.
Love the story. This is a Nigerian story.
All right, so Breakfast Central on News Central on a Monday, and we're starting out with one of our top stories so far so good today, which clearly has been trending over the weekend. Loss of people in Africa, Nigeria particularly, and the world going straight for this one. And yes, the armed men have killed over 132 people in an attack on a village in northern Burkina Faso, making it the country's worst attack in recent years.
Now, homes and the local market were burnt during the raid on the Sohan area of the country, with no group claiming responsibility yet. But Islamic attacks are increasingly common in the country, especially in the border region.
Now, in a statement, UN Chief Antonio Guterres condemned the heinous attack and underscores the urgent need for international community to redouble support to member states in the fight against violent extremism and unacceptable human toll. Right then, so it's no longer news that the federal government of Nigeria had the weekend suspended indefinitely, or perhaps as they now say, temporarily, the activities of microblogging and social networking site Twitter in the country.
Now, the official statement was issued Friday, 4th of June 2021 by the country's Ministry of Information and Culture. That was 2 days after the social media platform deleted a tweet on Wednesday by President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, let's look at some of the tweets.
All right, so this was perhaps the tweet in question, which Buhari himself actually did utter in a presser, which clearly watched by many Nigerians, and many took quite ill of. Says many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of life that occurred during the civil war. Those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language they understand. Now, wow.
End of quote. I mean, many have perceived the tweet as a veiled threat of violence towards the separatist movement in southeastern Nigeria, that is the indigenous people of Biafra.
Meanwhile, a joint statement by the diplomatic missions of the EU, the US, Britain, Canada and Ireland have denounced the action, adding that banning systems of expression like Twitter is not an answer for Nigeria, as it needs to foster inclusive dialogue and express opinions.
Now, their comments come after the Attorney General of the Federation, that is Abubakar Malami, threatened to prosecute violators of the ban.
Well, there's lots to really unpack in this topic because it's clearly the biggest story out of the weekend in Nigeria. And we have joining us this morning Nelson Olanikpekun. He is a human rights lawyer and the founder of Citizens Gavel. We also have joining us this morning Gbenga Sesan. He is the executive director of Paradigm Initiative, a Pan-African social enterprise working on digital inclusion and digital rights in Nigeria. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Good morning, and thanks for having us on the show.
Good morning. Okay, let me start with you, Gbenga. Now, what does this suspension mean technically?
Technically, it means the government has declared itself undemocratic. This was something we always suspected all along. That government wanted to restrict, the civic space, but with this, and let's be clear, this is not just about banning Twitter or restricting people from using Twitter. It is one of many steps that have been proposed by this same government before. We've had bills, and policy proposals by government. But what this basically means, unfortunately for government, is that they themselves cannot use the platform that they were very great at and helping them win elections and have been helping them to communicate some of their achievements. But guess what? All of the people they're trying to keep away from this platform are still on the platform, tweeting as I speak. So basically, it's an ineffective ban that demonstrates the commitment of this administration to undemocratic practices.
All right, Nelson, I'd like to really bring you on this one as a lawyer, because we saw the announcement from Lai Mohammed's Ministry of Culture. Twitter is banned. Okay, yes, we know, even if many will say it is in legal terms illegal. Then you have the Minister of Justice that moving towards prosecutory processes for Twitter, a platform which they themselves in the government use frequently. So where are we going with this?
Just to establish the ban is illegal, and for you to put a ban out or for you to enable a law, it cannot be retroactive. That is part of Section 36, what the law provides under the Constitution. You can't put a law out and you want it to be retroactive. The other important thing is that Twitter is a good platform for it enables the right to freedom of expression. And because it enables the right to freedom of expression, the president cannot do that without a valid law and without a court order. So the ban is null and void ab initio. And if not, hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Go on.
Yeah, and if not for the courts, which has been on strike for a while, I believe this will have been challenged in court by now. Yes.
But we've seen the moves from Malami himself. Many people have viewed this as a move to criminalize tweeting in Nigeria. How does tweeting become almost illegal in less than 48 hours?
You cannot criminalize something that is lawful without a valid court order. You cannot prosecute. Under which law are you going to prosecute? For there to be an offense in Nigeria, there must be a law, and it must be punishable with either fine or jail time or any other means of punishment. So for you to say you're going to prosecute people, under which law? There is no law that enables them to do what he's doing. And I'm shocked at the way the AGF is behaving, because this does not speak well of the chief law officer of the country. It negates the professional standards of the lawyers.
All right, Gbenga, I would need to put this to you now, because some Nigerians have responded to that tweet, describing it as a form of gagging and restricting of the civil space. Do you share that view?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay, I would like to let me just rephrase it a little bit. Now, some Nigerians have responded to the tweet we're talking about, the tweet that we read out, describing it as a form of gagging and restricting of civil space. Do you share that view?
So if you repeat the view,
The tweet.
Having the same issue.
Yeah, Benga, we're talking about the tweet itself, and if we can, have that tweet, the picture of that, that statement, which is causing which, even I personally have called this distasteful and clearly ethnically veiled. Many of those blah 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 says those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in a language I understand. Shouldn't Nigerians be demanding an apology from their president for such really unwelcomed and, so to speak, quite distasteful and repulsive comments?
I think it is very clear. I mean, before the president spoke, I, was worried, and I said that when this man is quiet, it's a problem, but when he speaks, it's even worse. And that is why I wasn't surprised when I saw the tweet. People were like, could he have said this? It was very clear. This is clearly what he has said before. Remember when he entered hotel, this man believes he's doing Nigerians a favor, believes he's doing people a favor, and he's been inconvenienced by those who are using social media to expect the democratic rights. Nigerians, by the way, when they want to report this tweet, as hateful. And the good thing is that it is a state government that says it wants to regulate social media because of disinformation or fake news or dangerous or hate speech. And I said at the time, they are the biggest culprits of this same thing they want to attack. And the president has demonstrated this, that he's the number one person when it comes to hate speech in Nigeria. I'm glad that Nigerians reported this tweet, and I'm glad that Nigerians are speaking up. And like you said, I agree 100% that the president must apologize to Nigerians, not just to people from the Southeast, but to all Nigerians for being irresponsible with that statement.
All right, Nelson, your thoughts on it. Nigerians have taken offense. So, Twitter or not, should we be bothered about the Twitter, or perhaps that the number one citizen clearly took aims at a certain subset of people, referencing a really terrible time in Nigeria's history, such as the Civil War?
Yes, so you have to know that this Twitter ban is not about just the ban itself. It's about control and the urge to rule on question. And that being said, the president's tweet speaks to that dictatorial tendency that we've got. The president rules a democratic system of government. There is an expected standard with which he is expected to operate. We are not in an Indian era. So, ordinarily, in a similar climate, the president's tweet should have been invited by the National Assembly to clarify what he said in that tweet.
Does the presidency, and this is for you, Sessan, and also for you, Nelson. We've seen Lai Mohammed come out. We've seen Gal Bashir release a statement. Does anyone in Aso Rock have no problem with such comments, whether it was uttered or tweeted? Those comments, do they see no problem with it? Are they standing by those words?
They clearly agree with it, because the only way to demonstrate that you disagree with the president's statements is to either say it or to submit your resignation letter. So for anyone who has not resigned and who has not spoken clearly that did not agree with the president's statement, then they agree with the statement, because guess what? They work at the pleasure of the president and they serve him. Even though Nigerians are their employers, but I guess that contract has been terminated when they decided, years ago, they no longer work for the Nigerian people. But anyone who works with the president, from his, aides to his political appointee to anyone else who has not publicly disagreed with this statement, clearly agrees with the president or their cowards.
All right, now, if we hear any of the lawmakers ever resigning, it's going to be the first in Nigerian history. But moving forward, let's look at the impact now this ban will have on Nigerians. Now, not just about the image of Nigeria. We're looking beyond the image. We're looking in terms of freedom of speech. Benga, what do you think this ban would mean for our own freedom of speech? All right, I'll repeat the question again. Now, we're looking at the consequences or what the ban, the effect or the impact the ban will have on Nigeria. And we're not just looking at the image of Nigeria, we're looking at the freedom of speech. Now, some people have said there is freedom of speech, but freedom after speech cannot be guaranteed. Now, Gbenga, if you are listening or if you can hear me properly, what is the impact that this ban will have in terms of our freedom of speech?
I think Nigeria has just announced to the world that we are a dictatorship and we do not respect free speech, even though our constitution guarantees it. Even though Nigeria, as itself, has said from time to time, the minister who announced it, Mr. Lai Mohammed, we have said from time to time that we respect media freedom, we respect free speech, but this is not the way it's done. And I want to be very clear and categorical. This ban on Twitter is not just a Twitter ban. It is a deliberate attempt at muscling free speech in Nigeria, and it is only the first of many steps. By the way, it's only the first step. There were many attempts now to use the National Assembly, which was, pushed back. So what Nigeria has said is that we do not respect free speech. Nigerian friends, countries across the world, have spoken to Nigeria to make it very clear. Nigerians have spoken. That I think is the most important for me. But even the friends of Nigeria, countries that Nigeria seeks to advocate and seek to claim that they are friends with, have spoken up that this is against even your own constitution. I guess this is a case of bad advice that has not been implemented, and the ego of the government is now at risk. But guess what? This does not say anything good for human rights in Nigeria.
All right, Nelson, before we also let you go, your thoughts on this, because just like Session Benga just pointed out, it looks like the government, this administration is tilting towards more like a dictatorial leadership, so to speak. Would you agree with those assertions right now?
Yes, I totally agree. The first thing we need to highlight is the fact that, number one, the energy that the presidency should be using to fight insurgency and different, like terrible criminalities are being used to clamp down on its citizens. And number one, to go dictatorial is to guard the citizens. And this is what they are doing by kind of restricting the freedom of expression. We all know that all the traditional TVs are being controlled and guarded. We've seen what has happened with many traditional TVs, how they've been fined. The Twitter space and the social media space have been the only independent space where citizens can speak freely and unhindered. And the government that fears to be accountable, that means they are going towards a dictatorial government. And know that this at every hour, Nigeria loses $250,000 economic impact. That's the economic impact that this Twitter ban it's the way it's affecting the country.
All right.
And because of one person's ego, we are losing that much. So it speaks to the issue of dictatorship.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Temporal ban, suspension ban, prosecution, dictatorship. Where do we stand? Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Nelson Alikbeko, human rights lawyer, and Gbenga Sesson, executive director of Paradigm Initiative. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on Breakfast Central.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, quite a heated one this morning. Right, you're also watching Breakfast Central. It's a Monday. Let's look at the morning papers with a review, and we're starting in Zimbabwe. I believe it's the Daily News in Zimbabwe to see what they have for us this morning on their front page spread. The Daily News in Zimbabwe, and they've gone for quite a big one. Yes, popular, pastor in Nigeria, TB Joshua, died yesterday, and they've gone with it. It says Zimbabwe, Zim grieves for popular Joshua. Many high-profile locals visited his church in Lagos. And also we have there Aziza cutting off defaulting clients. And also at the top there, vocal prowess, Amanda Black drops a banger. So there you have it on the front page of the Daily News in Zimbabwe.
From Zimbabwe, we'll move to Nigeria, looking at the Punch newspaper this morning. At the topmost here on the Punch newspaper, you can see it says banks commence 6.98 USSD, that's 6 naira 98 kobo USSD charge, and customers kick. It says that in page 31 of the papers this morning. Still on the Punch, we're looking at the Twitter ban. It says hashtag Twitter ban. Job losses loom. Economic woes to worsen. NESG and experts are warning. It says this in page 2 of the papers. It says with present economic woes, we shouldn't add to our people's problem. That's what one of the experts is coming out to say. But you need to go through the papers. That's the Punch newspaper this morning for you to read. Now you can see the picture there. This is scenes of suspected headsman attack on the Gangan residents. This is in the North local government area of Oyo State. That's what they say. You can see properties burnt, houses, cars, lots of properties, as it were, in the picture, in that picture this morning. But you have more information in the Punch for you to read. We're increasing forex to banks for SMEs, travelers, tuitions. This is for page 31 of the Punch newspaper this morning.
Right, let's move to East Africa. Uganda we go. Daily Monitor, straight, no time to waste to see what they have on the front page. Talks about Museveni, the president. Museveni slaps new lockdown. That's what it says on the front page. Said President Museveni last evening closed schools and worship places among new rafts of measures to halt and reverse the resurgent cases of COVID-19 and deaths across the country. So there you have it on the front page. Also at the top left, it talks about Parliament to spend 9.8 billion shillings on MPs' offices every year. All right, so new restrictions in Uganda from the president when it comes to COVID-19.
And the very last paper we have for you this morning is the Daily Times, and we also have quite similar stories across the papers this morning, talking about the cleric who just died over the weekend. Now, it says World mourns cleric philanthropist, that's TB Joshua. More information in the Daily Times for you to read. Still on the Daily Times, Constitution Review gulps 5 billion naira. It says here in page 2. In terms of arms and ammunition, Nigeria spent 73.7 billion naira importing arms, ammunition in 3 months. In terms of insecurity, again, suspected headsman attack Igongo in Oyo State. It kills scores, burns palace, vehicles, amongst others. You will find this in the Daily Times for you to read this morning. All right, and that's it for the newspaper review for today, June 7, 2021. Let's now bring you some COVID-19 updates. As African countries and the world in general are currently battling the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, Libya seems to be on the right path in terms of vaccination. Let's now join Bernard Akede for more COVID-19 updates. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, Oluchi. Good morning, Olisa. And yes, truly, Libya seems to be topping the news. Now we get that more than 250,000 people have been vaccinated against COVID-19 in Libya. And the Libyan National Center for Disease Control says nearly all medical staff treating infected persons are part of those already vaccinated, which is a good one. Now, the health agency says that the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Libya has gotten up to 186,000 persons. Now, this includes more than 172,000 recoveries and, sadly, over 3,000 deaths. From Libya to Zambia now, and we hear that Zambia's cumulative COVID-19 cases yesterday crossed the 100,000 mark. Sad one there, as the pandemic gains momentum in its third wave in the country. Now, the country has also started seeing a rise in the number of COVID-19 associated deaths. Health authorities say that they are concerned and are projecting a continued rise in cases as the cold season progresses in the country. The country's cumulative cases has now stands at over 100,000, following 738 new cases which were recorded in the past 24 hours. To the east now, where Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni yesterday announced the closure of places of worship, schools and institutions of higher learning following the upsurge of COVID-19 cases as the East African nation faces the second wave of this pandemic. I know you mentioned that earlier in the papers. Now, Museveni, in a televised address, said all churches and mosques in the country will be closed for the next 42 days. That's a long one. And he said public gatherings have also been banned except for the cabinet and parliamentary meetings, while marriage ceremonies, I beg your pardon, parties and all other social gatherings are only allowed to have a maximum of 20 people, and this will be under strict observances of standard operation procedure. Now, as of yesterday, Uganda had registered over 52,000 COVID-19 cases with over 47,000 recoveries and about 383 deaths since the first case was reported in March of 2020. Now, for some statistics, so far, Africa has recorded over 4.9 million cases with over 132 deaths. And in terms of testing, the continent has carried out over 48.6 million tests, while over 4.4 million recoveries have been recorded. And I told you to check on Twitter for these statistics, but if you live in Nigeria, well, you know what operates.
All right, Bernard, thank you very much. I do live in Nigeria, and I clearly know how it operates. Well, thank you very much, Bernard Akede, for the latest when it comes to COVID-19. Right, last week, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Shaibu Ibrahim, said corps members are part of the national defense policy of Nigeria and can be, in his own words, mobilized for war if need be. But this comment immediately got Nigerians talking, and the question was, which way Nigeria?
But you know what? That didn't just end there. Nigerians went ahead to share training rudiments, most likely for the corps members, in case they eventually get mobilized for war. Take a look.
Oh my God. Do they do that now in the corps service camps?
Well, some of my friends and my colleagues who actually went there did not come back to tell us this part. So let's just hope that was some stunt that was being performed, maybe as a way to entertain the corps members in camp.
Perhaps it should be, because we know that the cement clearly can be soft, and with a nice bit of ample effort you can smash it. But, oh my gosh, what was that from the last guy? Was he not going to do it? He did it eventually. All right, so let's go straight back to more top series right here on Breakfast Central. Now we're going straight to the southern part of Nigeria, southwest precisely, Igongon, as in southern Oyo State town that shot to prominence amid the Yoruba-Fulani tensions earlier this year. Now, over the weekend, they came under a night of attacks, now leaving several persons dead and properties razed. Now,
no fewer than 20 people were reportedly killed in the community where scores of bandits on motorcycles stormed the town early Sunday morning.
Now, the attack was carried out just after a week that the chairman of the Amotekun Corps in that region, Oyo State General Ajibola Togun, retired, warned that some foreign herders were hibernating in forest reserves waiting to unleash terror on Yoruba land.
Now, the Fulani families and their leader, Abdulkadir Sahilu, residents in Igongon, were forcefully removed from the town in January by aggrieved indigenous Yoruba population inspired by Sunday Igboho Adeyemo, a self-acclaimed Yoruba warlord.
Now, the attacks therefore raises questions about the safety of Nigerians in all four regions of the country. Don't forget, Oyo is located in the southwestern part of Nigeria. And joining us this morning is security expert, returning to Breakfast Central again, Dr. Ona Ekomu. We also have Fatai Owosheni, who is a security advisor to the Oyo State Governor, Sheyi Makinde. Good morning. Welcome, gentlemen, to Breakfast Central.
Good morning.
Morning. All right, gentlemen, this is yet another attack amidst the numerous ones recorded before now in different parts of the countries where lives and properties have actually been destroyed. What is actually the problem? I will start with Owoseni.
You have seen and followed that we had that unfortunate incident early morning yesterday, around midnight, early Saturday. And from all these sport assessments, from all the indications, it appeared like reprisal from the elements that's the Seriki that was taken out of the inaugural displays in what is giving is the fact that fortunately casualties were recorded on the part of the community on the 11th of the bandit also suffered casualties. The people community rose up to the challenge and they were able to eliminate 5 of the bandits. Out of the 5 bandits were eliminated, 2 of them were even selectively identified, while one of them was also the son of the other person, Wakili, who is presently in prison. So, with that indication, we can say maybe this was driven out of to mobilize to a reprisal. As of now, the state apparatus are working closely with the non-state actors in Uganda, and like I've just mentioned earlier in another program, when it comes to asymmetric warfare, or what we call guerrilla warfare, element of surprise is always there. We've learned our lesson from that. The security operatives in the states are working together to ensure that state actors are properly covered with a view preventing
all right. Thank you very much, Dr. Fatai, but still stay on the line because we've got Dr. Ona still with us, a security expert. Now, Mr. Fatai has talked about, guerrilla warfare in the security breach. Will you describe it from what we've seen in Uganda? Will you say that's the situation right now? Are we dealing with, guerrilla warfare at the basis of terms right now? Hello, Dr. Ona.
Thank you for having me. And I want to thank Mr. Woshemi for the good work himself and his people are doing in that area, trying to protect Oyo State. Now, having said that, it is clear that, like to use his word, we are in an asymmetrical warfare. And so trying to use conventional tools of policing and perhaps conventional military tools will not work because you are expecting them to array themselves in a certain formation. And they are throwing everything at you. They are coming at every point in time. They are attacking soft targets and so on and so forth. What do you think the problem is? Why do you think they attack soft targets? Because they want to achieve the element of fear, that is create great fear in the community, and also undermine the credibility or the legitimacy of the government. Now, what I think is happening, I'm very happy that there's a very knowledgeable man advising the governor of Oyo State on security on ground here, who is able to correctly analyze the problem and also the kind of countermeasures. But I think we should go a little bit further. I think the kind of mechanism we have in place right now, they should be strengthened such that we can even predict. I'm grateful to God and I'm thankful to Mr. Owoseni and the others in Oyo State who work with him, that they were able to repel this attack and also inflict casualties on these bastard bandits. But having said that, I think we need to go one step up where we have some kind of a tripwire mechanism. We have a tripwire mechanism which is able to tell ahead of time or even in the nick of time when there is what you call it an imminent attack, such that they can be defended more robustly. Because in a case where they come into Iparakpa and burn down, the kind of video images I'm seeing on your screen right now, they burn down places, burn cars, kill people. Even if you kill five of them, it doesn't matter. Because for a terrorist, the fact that he can get on the evening news, like it's on News Central right now, Breakfast Central with you, the fact that he can even set himself on fire, he has won. As far as he's concerned, that's his mentality. As far as he can cause some trouble for you and make you discomfortable and make you fearful, he has won. So you have to understand it within the context of soft targeting. There is a way of defending it against soft targeting, and that is what we really need to do. But I think Commissioner Owoseni has said it right. He said that this is an asymmetrical warfare, this guerrilla warfare, as it were. And what I'm calling for this morning through your is for tripwire programs. That you must have some early warning systems in place. And this is people, nothing more than people. You must have some ability. There must be some youths up at night watching over their communities. Look, right now we can see that this problem has gone beyond just the northwest. It's now in the southwest. Because if you draw a line, I've told people before, do what we call intelligence analysis. Connect the dots. If you draw a line from Zamfara State, you draw it straight down into Oyo State. So it's not so far. If they are attacking Oyo State. Okay, go ahead, sir. Dr.
Ona, you just mentioned something quite important. I need to bring on, Fatah Owoseni on this. We are seeing that, as a security advisor, some states government has done some things yesterday to arrest the situation. But I really need to ask, with the kind of tactics and tripwire Dr. Ona is talking about, at what great cost humanly, for Oyo State citizens, it is going to cost them? Because you're dealing with, just like you said, asymmetric warfare and guerrilla warfare. At what great cost of human lives will it be right now for people of Oyo State to deal with this situation?
Let me first tell you that maybe some other states have announced it, but in Oyo State, with all what is happening all over the country, a task force, which is called the War Room Security Task Force, was created. And Oyo State has, moved a little bit to change its security architecture. And what we have in place now is what we call integrated security concept. That is the new architecture here. What is the difference? The difference in it is that we've recognized, and of course it is obvious in Nigeria now, that the non-state actors are coming strongly, to also exercise their fundamental rights, to the obligations to support the national security. And in order to harvest them, in order them to work in synergy, national security, we are recognized out here to say what we're going to do with the security process.
Okay.
And starting with that.
All right, now, Fatah, still on the issue of insecurity and looking at grazing, which has become one that has generated some controversy over time. Why has it become so difficult from the federal level? Now, looking at the federal government, why is it so difficult for them to properly address the issue all this while? Is there really something the Nigerians need to know? All right, so Dr. Ona, are you there? Okay, so now the question is talking about grazing and insecurity. Now, we know the issue of grazing has become one that has generated some controversy over time. We're asking, why has it become so difficult for the federal government at that level to address the issue all this while? Is there really something the Nigerians need to know?
Okay. For me, Ma.
Yes, to you, Fatai.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question well, but I think what you were trying to say was that you were saying something about open grazing.
Yes.
Right.
Now, what I think we ought to know is that we are a nation of laws. We are governed by laws. So, if the southern governors have come out and they've declared public policy that open grazing will not be allowed in the south anymore, I think they should move forward to the next level and pass necessary legislation to make that operational. Now, when they pass that legislation, then the security forces will be empowered, including what Mr. Fatai has described as non-state actor security forces, like people like Baba Mdeku and the rest. You know, they'll be empowered to enforce those laws. But at this point, I think, similar to what I believe Mr. Akeredolu did in Ondo State, when I think he has made public policy pronounced, but I don't know if there is legislation also backing that up. I think we have to look at the legal architecture, the legal framework that makes this possible first as a cover, as a legal cover, and then we now to Mr. Owosheni and his group in terms of how to enforce these kinds of things, because clearly it is creating a lot of tears and bloodshed, and it is a problem. It despoils the environment. It's really not desirable. I think we cannot do things, we cannot continue to do things the wrong way and expect the right results. It doesn't work that way.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. First of all, security expert Dr. Ona Ekwemi for coming on Breakfast Central, and security advisor to Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, Fatai Owoseni. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. We'd love to have you once again.
Thank you.
Right, still to come right here on Breakfast Central.
In the world of entertainment, Tanzanians versus Diamond Platinums coming up next.
And Serena Williams knocked out of the French Open in the 4th round.
We will be showing you programs you can watch on News Central, right here on Breakfast Central.